Welcome to the DY Prods channel. I'm your guy, DY Fly. What it do? Some things have transpired in the past week or so, and it just warms my soul because, when you have the foresight, when you have the sight that seeth things before it happens, sometimes you have to sit back and wait, and, your friends will call you crazy. They'd be like, what are you talking about? And you just have to sit back and just watch and let it happen. And then when it eventually comes, sometimes you have to be the guy to say, I told you so. And that's all we're going to do today. But first, we're going to talk about the Raiders game. We had to take the trash out, and that's exactly what we did. That's right, 31-0. We did what we were supposed to do. Our offense was consistent in moving the ball, and they sustained drives. I love to see it. The play design was very, very, very good, and they executed. I like to see it. The defense, when the offense does what they're supposed to do, and when the defense doesn't have to be on the field 50 out of the 60 minutes, you see how effective they can be, right? So the defense, they definitely did what they were supposed to do. They put a bagel on the board. This was the second fastest game ever played or whatever, I think it was. They held the Raiders to under 100 yards, right? It was beautiful to watch. This is an NFL team. The Raiders are an NFL team, but to be held under 100 yards, that's just a great thing, at least from a Philadelphia Eagles fan's perspective, So you love to see it. BG, the OG BG, he got into the mix with 2 sacks. Yeah, and we got the stun on him, right? Zach Bond, the bald eagle, got an interception. Zach Bond, the bald eagle. That's right. He got into the mix with the interception. You love to see it, but the defense was stellar. So the offense, there's just 2 things that I will critique about. Not complain, but critique about. You might say it's complain, whatever. One, the offense. I would have liked to see the offense run through the receivers instead of Dallas Goedert. I feel like the offense with Dallas Goedert, that will always be there. But I wanted to see the offense flow through the receivers, both Smitty and AJ, and have an offense flow through them where it's not forced through AJ, but we still move the ball through the air through those guys, and even a Jahan Dotson or Darius Cooper catch and move the chains, whatever. But that's one thing I like to see. Even though it was a great game by Dallas Goedert, I believe that him being the option, that will always be there because him and Jalen, they just got a nice connection going on right now. So the other thing is, I know Britton Covey is better than what we've had in the beginning of the season. That does not make him good, okay? I'm going to continue to say this. Britton Covey's not good, all right? He's not. And just so you understand what I'm saying, just because Kenny Pickett is better than Gardner Minshew, right, that doesn't make Kenny Pickett good. Do you feel me? Just because Britton Covey is better than what we've had, that doesn't make Britton Covey good, right? We literally have a weapon of Danny Gray on the practice squad right now. We could put him back there and we could see the electricity flowing through his body onto the field if we put him back there. He will house one. I don't know why we are playing around with this. Britton Covey, he is subject to getting blasted. He still takes big hits, and he doesn't make enough plays for me. Not to my liking. Okay, I know he's better than the Tank Bigsby's and the other running back, all of them. I know Britton Covey's better than that, but he's still not good. Okay, so let's put Danny Gray back there and stop messing around. All right. Lastly, before I get into it, what happened to this? Right? What happened to the coldest celebration in the league? Huh? What happened to calm down, we do this? What happened to that? Huh? Now, I like the Texans celebration, the little shout out to Tank Dell, and I like the Bears celebration. That joint, the Kobe ISO, yeah, I like that. That's cold. That's cold right there. The little, yeah, I like that. But what happened to this? We need to bring that back. That's when I'll know we are fully back. We got our swag back. And you know what? You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about if Jalen did it, right? If Jalen did it, especially at the link, just think about it. He rolls out, he scrambles, he slides for a first down, he gets up and he goes, right? He does that. Do you know the juice that will be injected into the stadium? Do you know the juice that will be injected into his teammates? Oh my goodness. If he did that, Jalen, if this reaches your desktop or mobile phone, please just do it one time. Do it one time at the link, and I swear to you, if he does that, the fans are going to be like, no one can beat us. No one can stop us. Jalen should do that. But yeah, man, let's get into it. We are in the home stretch of the season, the last 4 games. We have the Redskins, then the Bills, then the Redskins again. But, everybody's making their playoff predictions, and everyone seems to want to either pick the Rams, right, who have Sean McVay and Matt Stafford. Okay, very nice. I understand. They've been playing well. Their offense looks pretty. Whatever. Okay? And also, people want to pick the Bills, with Josh Allen and, Sean McDermott, I believe his name is, the head coach for the Bills, right? Now, it puzzles my mind because people aren't picking the Eagles for whatever reason. It's really puzzling me. It's boggling my mind because I'm trying to figure out what has Nick and Jalen done to these people for them not to pick the Eagles, right? You would figure that they have enough cachet built up that, if the Chiefs, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes are out of the playoffs, then the next best team to pick to put their money on is the Philadelphia Eagles. You would think that, right? But no. For whatever reason, people hate on Nick, people hate on Jalen, either separately or together. So I'm just trying to figure out why this is. Josh Allen, he's never been there. He's never been to the Super Bowl. So why is he a shoo-in? He might lose to Drake May and the Patriots. He might lose to the Broncos. Sean Payton, he's been there before, right? He might lose to them. It's going to be one of those two teams. But Matt Stafford and Sean McVay, the last time we've seen the Rams, in fact, the last 3 times we've seen the Rams, we beat them up, slapped them around, laid the smack down on their candy ass, right? But yet, they want to pick the Rams. If Matt Stafford and Sean McVay had the cachet that Nick and Jalen had coming into these playoffs, everybody would pick the Rams. No question. But I'm here to say this is why I am rocking with Jalen and Nick into the end. All right? I'm rocking with Jalen and Nick to the end. Going to 5 straight playoff appearances, going to 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls, and then winning one. That means a lot until it means something for Jalen and Nick. Now it gets discredited, right? Now it gets devalued. Why? Because you don't like them? Listen, everybody wants Nick gone or whatever, but I'm rocking with Nick. I alluded to it in my last video, but I wasn't feeling that well, so you probably wasn't feeling me. You wasn't feeling me, but Nick, he has the formula for winning. I know for the past however many years, at the end of each week during football season, I walk away happy. I walk away in a good mood more times than not, more than any other teams on this list because of Nick and Jalen. Okay? They gave me an experience that a lot of people in this world won't have during that Super Bowl 59. Yeah, or Super Bowl 57, the first one, 2022. A lot of people won't have that same experience that I had. Not only did my childhood team, my beloved Philadelphia Eagles, make the Super Bowl the last game of the year for all the marbles, right? Not only did my quarterback, Jalen, Hitman Hurts,
the excellence of execution.
not only did he make the Super Bowl with my beloved team, but during Rihanna's performance, right? Rihanna had the halftime performance, and I don't give a damn about Rihanna or her music. But guess what? My cousin Mike Reed was on the drums playing for Rihanna that night. You know? Shout out to Mike.
This is culturally inappropriate.
That's right. One of the best drummers in the world. You don't believe me? Just look him up. Mike Reed. He's played. Think of the top of the artists that you could think of. Just the tippy top, right? Whatever artist that comes to your mind off the top, that's who he's played for. Okay? Including Rihanna that night. And I was locked in from the kickoff, from the time I woke up, really, until the end of that game. Yeah, we lost, but that was an experience that I got to experience because my cousin was on the stage with my quarterback. And Nick and Jalen gave that to me. And not only did they do that, they came back in 2 years, and then they delivered the goods. They delivered the mail on Sunday. Now, I just want to say that I have called out fraudulent behavior. I've called Mike Vrable a fraud because of his handling of Travion Henderson. It's been quite outlandish the way he has handled Travion Henderson. He is clearly probably the best player on offense, and he continuously all year decided to either bench him or not give him any carries and no touches or whatever. And they're trying to say, oh, it's because of pass protection. Man, shut up. Throw him the ball if you don't want to put him in pass protection or whatever, right? That's my stance on it. I called him a fraud. He's a fraud, right? Then he provides me this sound bite, and I want to play this for you. All right? Watch this. Listen to this.
I'll say this. The Bills lead the NFL in offensive holding. And I'll leave it at that.
Then leave it at that, Mike. Leave it at that.
And that would be hard for me to understand how the team that is coming into the game leading, and that's how they play, didn't have one yesterday. Right. So well, that's hard for me to understand.
Now, this is loser behavior, okay? This is loser attitude, okay? Now, just imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and Nick Sirianni came up to the podium or got onto a podcast and started making excuses talking about the refs or what have you. We would want Nick Sirianni's head on a spike, and that is a fact, okay? And this guy gets up there with impunity and has the unmitigated gall to blame the refs. Listen, when they were up 21, me and my uncle, we were watching the game together. I'm like, there is no chance in hell that the league is going to allow the Patriots to beat the Bills and leave the Bills in some sort of playoff limbo where, you know, the rest of these games, they definitely got to fix, okay? The Bills, they're definitely making the playoffs. They have to win this week, and however this next game goes, you know, hopefully that'll be in favor of us when we play them, all right? They might do some tricky stuff. We're going to see, all right? But Mike Vrable, this is showing loser behavior, and I always tell you that greatness starts from the top, okay? Greatness trickles down from Jeffrey to Howie to Nick to Jalen to the rest of the team, okay? And this is loser behavior from their head coach. So in the next couple years, just watch out for Drake May to start making excuses, something like this, okay? I'm telling you, just wait for it. It's going to happen. But everybody, you know, you ask 10 fans that's a fan of football, whatever, who would they rather have, Mike Vrable or Nick? They would say probably 9 or 10 times out of 10, they would pick Mike Vrable. They'd probably pick Vrable. All right? I'm telling you, I'm picking Nick. Nick is not a punk. That's why I rock with Nick. Nick is going to take it on the chin, right? He's going to take his lumps and say, nah, bro, we need to play better. We need to execute. That's on us. Period, point blank. That's what I know. He's not going to do this. This is nasty work right here. Yeah, bro. Nasty work. Let's go on to some other loser behavior, right? Everybody was calling for my quarterback to be benched last week. We know Jalen is a dog. We know he has that dog in him, right? But everybody was calling for him to get benched last week, and I'm gonna let this guy speak, and we're gonna give some commentary in between. All right, because this whole season for Joe Burrow, as the president of the Joe Burrow Haters Club, this has been a beautiful season. I just had to wait for a couple things to play out, and it's played out wonderfully, okay? He's on the verge of missing 4 straight playoff games, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's listen to this.
The most predictable cycle in the NFL is Joe Burrow playing like garbage and everyone making excuses for him. This has been going on for 3 years now. Now, after getting shut out at home and looking awful against a defense that 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers just shredded, Joe Burrow took the blame by saying,
"There's not a team in the NFL that would have won the game today if I was a quarterback."
Shut the fuck up!
Huh? What?
Shut the fuck up!
That's right.
Keep in mind here, before this beatdown where he threw his second pick six in 2 weeks, Joe decided to vent to the media about fun.
2 pick sixes in back-to-back weeks. Could Jalen Hurts get away with that? He's had a bad stretch, okay? He has had a bad stretch, and they're trying to bench him for a Joe Burrow-esque type quarterback, okay? They're trying to bench him for a Joe Burrow-esque type quarterback in Tanner McKee for a bad stretch. Now, do you think Jalen Hurts has the leash to miss the playoffs for 4 straight years? Please.
Shut the fuck up!
If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for?
First,
loser behavior. Loser behavior. Can you imagine? Let's put the shoe on the other foot. We're going to break this down to the molecule. Put the shoe on the other foot. If Jalen Hurts got on the podium and started singing "Woe with Me," how do you think we would react? Not we, I'm talking about the fans. How do you think the fans, definitely WIP, they've been pretty bummy this year. They've been trashier than usual. But how do you think certain fans, a certain ilk of fans, how do you think they would react? Riddle me that. If Jalen Hurts, all he does is go up there on the podium, takes his shots, and he takes it on the chin. Says, yeah, he gets held accountable. He doesn't bring his personal life into the problems. He focuses on football. He just grinds. It just tries to get it right throughout the season. He's never sung any tunes like "Woe with Me," I'm just trying to have fun or whatever. And look, I'm not trying to sound like I'm not sympathetic or, I'm not trying to worry about if something's going on with Joe, then, prayers up for him. But we're talking about what it could be versus what it is. All right? We're talking about what it could be versus what it is. You guys keep asking for him. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Jalen Hitman Hurts. Y'all should be thankful.
off, this isn't intramurals. It's a job. Someone in the building needs to tell the franchise player that he's not getting paid $275 million to have fun. He's chewing up 16% of the salary cap to lead an explosive offense and win games. Both have eluded him since 22. What you're seeing on screen is the moment things changed. A year after taking down Mahomes and moving on to the Super Bowl, Joe threw 2 picks in the rematch and failed to lead a game-winning drive with the game tied. Since that moment, the Bengals have missed the playoffs for 3 straight seasons, including this one.
And about to be 4. Oh!
The best ability in the NFL is availability. Joe's often injured, which isn't great from your franchise QB, but even when he is available, the team is average. His record as a starter since the top of 23 is 17-15. This is what I mean when I say everyone just keeps making excuses for this guy. Look at it like this. Everyone, including myself, dumps on Tua, but his record in that same time frame is 23-18.
Tua just got benched. I just got a notification.
Yeah. Joe Burrow is talked about like he's in the elite tier of QBs. It's just not true. The top guys go out there and win you games even when the team is flawed. Look at Josh Allen yesterday. The defense fell apart and they went down 21-0. We haven't been sure.
We know Vegas put in that call, but, continue.
About Buffalo's receiver since Diggs left, but it doesn't matter. He put his team in the back and won the game. Not only does Joe not do that, but he's got 2 of the best receivers in football.
And let's talk about that, okay? Let's talk about that. Joe took all the money. We talk about Jalen Hurts and his limitations, and people want to dump on Jalen Hurts like, oh, the team is stacked around him. Oh, how he built the team. Well, Jalen left some money on the table, which doesn't get talked about enough. Jalen left money on the table so he could keep the team around him. So he could keep AJ, so he could keep Devontae, so he can keep the offensive line, right? So he could keep the defense. When his agent went to contract negotiations, he said, don't screw the team. That was his message. Joe took all the money. He took all the money. Jamar took all the money. If Joe Burrow was as elite as y'all say that he is, then he would have told T. Higgins, listen, brother, I'll see you on the other side. I'll see you on the other side. And maybe they'll play together again, maybe on some Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams type stuff, right? But he said he advocated for T to get signed. He advocated for T to get signed. Now you got your wish. They have the same GM that they've had since 2021, right? You think the GM just forgot how to do his job? No, he bowed down and capitulated to Joe Burrow's request to keep T. Higgins. Now Joe's crying about, oh, I don't want to have fun. People make excuses. Oh, what about the defense? The defense is ass or whatever. Well, Joe took all the money. Jamar took all the money and advocated for T to stay. He should have told T, listen, hey, brother, I'll see you on the other side, and then took that money and spread it out on the defense. Your boy's selfish. Let's call a spade a spade.
Stop making excuses and be real. Joe Burrow has not showed up when the Bengals have needed him, and he's no longer in the top class of QBs. I'm Frank Michael Smith, and that's my take.
First of all, shout out to Frank Michael Smith for that little dissertation. I couldn't have done it better myself. And there's one more thing. It's been beautiful to watch that Joe Flacco has come in, and he's done the same thing that Joe Burrow has done, right? Put up great stats in losses. And I'm glad Joe came back because I wanted to see if Joe was going to come back so I could put this season on him. 0-4 in the last 4 years and making the playoffs. So shout out to my coach. Shout out to my quarterback. I'm rocking with Nick. I'm rocking with Jalen. I like winning. I like the feeling of winning. Those two bring it. A lot of people, they want to replace Nick and try to get this sexy OC/head coach. Listen, that doesn't work out for a lot of these teams, all right? That doesn't work out for a lot of these teams where the head coach has to call plays. That's worked out for Andy Reid, Sean McVay. If you want to include Kyle Shanahan because he made the Super Bowl, all right. If you want to include the coach from the Broncos, Sean, I can't think of his name right now, then okay, all right. But other than that, it hasn't worked out for anybody. But the formula, we've already seen the formula. The formula is as long as Nick can just manage the team and keep morale high, he can do all that and then have an OC. We already know what Vic is going to do his thing. We already know Vic Fangio. Hold up. Do we have a button for Vic? We have a button for Vic. Hold up. I have a button for Vic, but I don't know where it is.
But let's be frank here. You never wanted my friendship. Now you come to me and you say, Don Corleone and give me justice. But you don't ask with respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather.
But Vic is cool. We already know what Vic is going to bring to the table, right? As long as Nick Sirianni has an OC, we know the formula. Nick and Jalen plus a good OC, Shane Steichen, Super Bowl appearance, Kellen Moore, Super Bowl appearance, and a Super Bowl win. All right. Now, if we pull this off with KP, if Kevin Patullo is a part of this championship run, this should be a feather in the cap of Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hitman Hurts. I would be honest with you. But that is the formula. Nick, Jalen, good OC. Super Bowl. Right? We have a game on Saturday against the Redskins, 5 p.m. It's in Landover. And, you know, JD5, Mr. Poise, he's not going to play. All right? He's not going to play, which I'm kind of disappointed because Marcus Mariota has been playing better than him. If you want to be honest, Marcus Mariota has been playing better than JD5 when JD5 has been healthy and playing. So, you know, it's not going to have that same buzz of Jalen versus Jaden, but we should take care of business. Their defense did not get any younger, right? Their defense did not get any better. So we should be able to abuse them as we please. You know, hopefully we can hear Quinyon Mitchell's name this game. You know, my dog, he has been balling out. He's been blanking everybody out that he's played. So shout out to Quinyon Mitchell.
Go! Eagle!
I'll say we drop another 30 burger. 30-13 birds. We going to take care of business, and then we'll talk about the Bills next week. But yeah, man, Nick and Jalen all day. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the like button. Don't be a jabroni. Hit the like button. Go Birds. You know the deal.
Nigga, you gonna get down or you gonna fucking lay down?